We got a mansion in Dubai, and our wardrobe keep us fly. We know you like, hey, we know you like it, yeah. We always winning and that's no lie. You really wish you had
How did you react when you first found out that your character was being killed off the show, Brother Minister? What was your reaction?
Well, you know, if you've been watching the show, people die on the show. People die on this show. So there were a couple of other seasons. I remember I was telling Weber, I came in, I think it was season 3 or 4, and he looked at me and said, "You're gonna live this time." As if they had been questioned. In fact, it was season 4, because there was a scene in season 4 where a character had their eyes on me to shoot me, and they got interrupted, and they thought about killing me off season 4. So he said, you know, "You're gonna live another season," which I thought was hilarious. But the point is that people die on the show. So when I found out that I was dying, I was like, okay. But when I read the scripts, so season 5, I read all the scripts, all 10 scripts, because I wanted to really have real context in terms of what the relationships were and why I was going to be killed off, so I would understand it enough to be able to play it well. And I love what they did in terms of the story of how my demise happened. Brother Minister slipped up, was careless. That's how I perceive it. And what my unaliving does, it sets up a whole new story of conflict for the show. And I feel really respected in the character, of course, that they did that. So it's really cool.
Absolutely. And we're going to miss Brother Minister. You were one of the upstanding ones to me, and I respected Brother Minister. But yes. Speaking of that, how do you think you being killed off is going to affect other characters and their storylines?
Well, I expect there to be a level of depth of response to it, only because Brother Minister Farah, as his name is in the books, has a deep relationship with the Duncans. Of course, the Duncans being the central family for the show, my school trained all of the Duncans and trained all the peripheral people in the show as well, in their assassin skills and skill set. So he's going to be missed. Because I also think that because of the Brotherhood being so prominent and a part of the table, the basic muscle behind the table, and Elijah is now going to have to step in and I don't know what Carl Weber's going to do, but I'm assuming that Elijah now takes the place, and his way of dealing with the Brotherhood will be different from mine. And the way I see it is that because of his sense of loss, he's experienced so much loss with Sasha and now me, it's going to turn him into a whole different guy. And Anthony Montgomery, who plays that character, who is a phenomenal actor, I think is going to really bring some complexity to that character and make the show even more interesting.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of Elijah and his relationship with your assassin, Donna,
yeah,
he was definitely engaged to Sasha. How do you think it's going to directly impact that relationship?
You know, I have no idea. You know, Carl Weber could do whatever he wants to do. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going to happen, but I can see it both ways. I can see if he takes her out, how that would work out, because Sasha and her mother did not get along very well. But I could also see him sparing her because of who she is. And that would be predicated on perhaps maybe some remorse that the Donna Duncan character has because she's been manipulated. Mm-hmm. So, and then he spares her. So, I mean, that's just in my head. I don't know what they're going to do, but there's a lot of interesting plays that can be done with that relationship, given the dynamics of her being Sasha's mother. But she didn't like her very much. Sasha didn't like her very much.
So as far as we were talking about the family, LC, with Brother Minister's relationship with the table, I was just a little confused as to why he agreed to join the alliance when his loyalty was really with LC. Clearly we saw that in the end because you told him about what they're planning to do. So why do you think Brother Minister agreed to do the alliance in the first place?
I can tell you what my motivation was. Okay, so as an actor, when I read it, I had to create what I was doing. What did I want there? And I always saw my loyalty completely with LC. But I was curious as to what this man was doing here. Mario plays him, Mario Donato. Anyway,
you
Dominique's
Antonio?
man. Antonio. Yes. I'm drawing a blank. Okay, so when Antonio came to visit me, I was curious as to what he was doing, and he intrigued me with his initial visit about what was going on. So I just wanted to see what he was doing, because he is supposed to be a member of the table,
right?
And yet he's trying something on the side. So I'm wanting to see what he's doing.
Right.
I want to see what he's doing, and once I saw what he was doing, I was like, So, and then here's the mistake that I made, was I tried to get Junior based on our relationship, because Junior and I go back. I've known his father and mother, his entire life. I've known him his entire life.
Mm-hmm.
And I had that talk with him about, hey man, this is not good here, killing, Ruby and all of this. Yeah, hey, wake up, dude. This is not right. And when I saw that I couldn't get him to move, that's when I sent my number one to tell LC.
Right.
And I had every plan to go back and be joined to the table and let him know what was going on. That was the original intent. I didn't go there, wanting to join them. I went there to get information.
Right.
According to what I was. I don't know what Carl meant, but in my mind,
that's what the character.
He might have meant something totally different. In my mind, I was there to get information.
Yeah. That makes
Mm-hmm.
sense. That really makes sense. How did you prepare emotionally to die off? Like, was that challenging for you? Or like, how did you prepare for that?
Well, Brother Minister is a man of principle and character. When I laid the character out, in my mind, he is a cross between Louis Farrakhan and Vito Corleone. So with both of those characters, they are measured, they are thoughtful, they are smart, they have integrity, and they have their own moral code. So that means that even in the face of death, there's no cowering, there's no compromise, there's no, I'm sorry, this phone's going off. There's no compromise, there's no begging, there's nothing. There's a realization in that moment that I slipped up. In that moment, I knew I messed up, and I have to pay the price because that's my code. I had to pay the price at that moment for messing up. Even though in my mind I'm thinking, Carl Weber, why did I send my dude off and have no arm myself, no gun, and I'm unarmed, and I sent my number one. In my mind, Brother Mills gonna have a gun. He's gonna pull out, boom, boom, boom. Because he runs the cheat school.
Right.
He knows what he's doing. But since that's not what he wrote, I had to play him according to the code within the parameters of the script. So to answer your question, Brother Minister had to die with courage, knowing that he messed up.
Right.
And he took a shot at trying to convince Donna that she was being manipulated, using reason again. But Donna was gone. Donna is already bought in.
Yeah.
And Donna's a little crazy.
Yeah.
and was manipulated by Dominique, who is a temptress in and of herself. Her character is always She's like that devil on your shoulder character.
Yes.
Dominique Fisherman. That is who she is, and she's very effective in the way she plays that, which made that whole thing with Donna play as well.
Right. Okay. Mm-hmm. So Brother Minister was making all kind of mistakes, including his gun. Oh
yeah. No gun, says his number one home, just carelessly gives us information within earshot, and then no protection.
Yeah.
That's not Brother Minister. He made a mistake.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so were there any parts of Brother Minister, I guess, any other areas that you wanted to explore as a character before you got unalived? Like any other areas of being Brother Minister that you wanted to explore?
I would have liked to explore some of the danger more so. That would have been great to experience that in this scene, in terms of him, gunplay or some situation where he had to protect himself or his family. We did work a little bit with my daughter in season 3. She came in season 4 as well, Nefertiti. Would have liked to explore that some more as well, because she was a trained assassin as well. So I didn't really get to explore some of the danger that I think this man clearly has a history with, and we never got to really see that in the show. But other than that, no, nothing really.
Okay. What do you think you're going to miss most about working with this fantastic cast and crew now that Brother Minister has gone away?
Everything. You just said it. I'm going to miss these people who I'm going to spend some time with tomorrow here in Detroit. Are the most incredible people to work with. And that's not hyperbole. I mean, everybody down to the crew, to the director, to the producers, to the writer, Carl Weber, the entire cast from Ernie and Valarie and Darrin and Miguel, Sean, everybody, Brely, Trisha, I can go on and on. Just the most incredible people to work with. And I've been doing this a very, very long time, and I've had some great experiences for sure. But 29 episodes of this show, and every single day was a treasure, and it was a blessing. And I'm going to miss them because they're like family. It's funny, this show is called The Family Business, but it really is truly a family behind the scenes. I don't know who else you've talked to, but they'll tell you it's just great. And the prettiest people you ever want to see. Everybody's pretty. People behind the scenes are pretty. People in front of the camera are pretty. It's a great show to work on.
Yeah, I can imagine, because everybody looks great on screen. Everything. I always compliment the show, the actor. I love it. There's nothing about the show that I don't like, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
So, speaking of Nefertiti, you said that you wanted to develop a relationship with her, or more of a relationship with her. Were there any other characters that you wanted to have some screen time with that you didn't really get a chance to?
I have to say no. And let me tell you why I say that. First, it's a big cast, so it's almost impossible. The way they shoot it too, you don't always get to see everybody because they shoot kind of in a block shoot style. But in season 5, if you notice, I'm working with all these different people who I never worked with.
Yes.
I mean, Emilio I had worked with Alexander Cora. I had not worked with Trisha Mann, who's a 25-year friendship. I've known Trisha for like 25 years.
Oh, really?
I had not worked with LisaRaye or even Sean that much. I had not worked with Sean at all, come to think of it. Sean Ringgold, who plays Junior. Even though I knew Sean and I actually had worked, we didn't have any scenes together, but when we were had COVID and they put us into Holmes to what do you call it? Quarantine. Sean was a housemate. Yeah, quarantine. So Sean was a housemate of mine a couple of times. So I got to know Sean before, but I had never worked with him in scenes. Yeah. So he and I really got to, do some stuff this season. So I really got to work with everybody who, the first, I worked with Darrin a lot, worked with Anthony, of course, and, Valarie and Ernie, Miguel. Yeah, they kept me kind of busy. Passed me around a little bit. Yeah.
Absolutely. Can you, without giving away any spoilers, what can we look forward to? I know this is like the inevitable question, but anything, any hints that we can look forward to in a couple of nights? Season finale?
I think you gotta wait a couple more nights to see. I mean, I think that you can almost imagine what's going to happen.
Yeah.
They've already teased it pretty well.
Yeah.
So, I think that you're going to see some resolution, and then you're going to see some things that are going to have to wait till next season. I'll say it that way.
Okay. So there isn't a season? No,
there isn't. There is not an official season 6.
Yeah.
I would say that if there is not, BET's nuts. If there's not, but they're not nuts, the point I'm making. I'm sure there'll be a season 6.
Yeah, here. If given the chance, would you like your character to come back in like a flashback scene or in any other capacity, a ghost or?
Sure, I would, and I think that's probably possible.
Yeah.
You know, I don't have any word. You know, we don't know what's going to happen until the scripts come out. Carl Weber is, you know, he kind of does this thing behind closed doors. He has a, you know, kind of a writer's room where they bounce ideas off, but he goes and he does the scripts, and then they come out and this is what they do. So I think that it's possible. Yeah. But as far as I'm concerned, you know, the character's done. You know, but if they call me back, I'd love to come back and do something. Absolutely.
Yeah, I could see Elijah looking to you for some guidance in the spirit world or something.
Right.
Yeah. Well, those are all my questions, Carl. Now, I did want to ask you what you have coming up, because I kind of did a little research on you, and I found one of your shows, 2 Degrees.
Oh my God, yes.
Yeah.
That's my thing.
Is it still on, or is it?
So 2 Degrees is my own series. It's a comedy, and people say that it's like a Black Kirby Enthusiasm.
Yes.
And we sold the show to an outlet called the Brick TV. So you can see there's 2 seasons, 12 episodes. You can see them all on the Brick TV. Yeah. And that's it.
Okay, I saw the promo for it, or the one of the trailers, and it was kind of funny. I was like, okay, what is this? So I may have to subscribe and check it out. You know? Yeah,
it was a fun show. I had a lot of really good people on it. I mean, the whole hook for the show is that I know everybody in Black Hollywood. I don't, but that's the hook. And and you know, I had Michael Beach, I had Kalita Smith, Wendy Raquel Robinson, Miguel Nunez, Vanessa Del Williams, Bill Duke. I mean, Kiki Haynes did an episode. I mean, it's just a fun show. We just had a lot of fun. It was like me getting together with my friends and just doing something. And it's entertaining.
Yeah, it looked like a lot of fun. It looked like a lot of fun. I'm gonna have to check it out, because I like comedy.
I beg your pardon? I'm sorry.
Oh, it's okay. I said I like comedy, so I'm gonna have to check it out.
Yes. In fact, you know what I'll do? I'll send you. There is one episode in season 2. Season 2, episode 1 is actually on YouTube.
Oh, okay.
And in that file, I do a recap of season 1, and then at the end of the episode, there's a preview of the next episode. It's about a 36-minute thing, and so you get an idea what it is.
So again, do you have anything that you want to share? What do you have coming up?
Well, you know, 2 Degrees. In fact, I'm retooling that. See if we can bring it back for another season. But I have a Christmas movie coming out on BET Plus called The Queens of Christmas, with Terry J. Vaughn and Essence Atkins and Vanessa Bell Calloway and a few other great people. And just finished the new Naked Gun for Paramount. It comes out next year, and a couple other independent films. But just keep it busy.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much once again. I do appreciate you, and I won't hold any more. Thank you so much. We'll talk soon.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.